What is up, gamers? Staxwell's back at it again today with another market watch. We have the fortune for the first time of knowing what is going to be announced before it's announced. We had a bit of an announcement for the announcement coming at Pro Tour Amsterdam. We're going to find out what the Wizards do, what their hero powers are. I'm sure we'll be seeing some key cards or some weapons or something like that revealed as well. I want to do we talk about a wizard card pretty much every market watch, maybe a couple wizard cards every market watch, and I wanted to consolidate it all in one video. This stuff's getting revealed tomorrow, so at the time of recording this video, we don't know what any of this stuff does, so a lot of this is still very speculative, but if there is any synergies or anything like that, some of these cards could spike up a lot, and could also go down a lot too, right? If there's no synergies, maybe people spec'd on them before and the specs didn't quite play out. So this is just a wizard market watch. If you're not a wizard guy, if you're not looking at the wizard class, this one probably isn't for you. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just go ahead, jump straight into it. Here is the save cards that I think everyone's gonna need. So if you've never played Wizard before, if you don't have any Wizard cards, you obviously need a Stormstriders. Stormstriders is at $96 right now. This isn't insane. When Icelander was like a big deck, when Icelander was everywhere, this card was like 120-ish for like the longest time. So this isn't like a way over the top inflated price tag because of the new Wizards. Obviously it's gone up a lot since we know we have new Wizards coming, but it's not like even at its all-time high or anything yet. So I still think the price is very reasonable. Look, even just 1 year exactly ago, it was higher than it is now, which is crazy because we have two Wizards coming. But anyway, I still think it's a good price. I still think it's a good, like, you just obviously are going to need this if you're going to be playing Wizard. This is one of the safest Wizard cards you can invest in. Pretty much every Wizard is going to be playing it. And I could say the same thing for Waning Moon. The cool thing about Waning Moon is it's going to be in the game forever currently. It's not anyone's signature weapon. It wasn't Icelander's signature weapon. Everyone could still play it. Wizard Mirrors, Kano Mirrors play this card. Kano plays this card against Prism, against Enigma, against certain like strategies like that. You're always going to need Waning Moon. It's at the very least a side deck option. Not only that, it's obviously a very powerful card. We've seen that with Icelander hitting LL on the back of Waning Moon for only $16 for a card that's going to be played presumably at least in the side decks of every Wizard forever. I think it's a good pickup. It's only $16. I think it's a fantastic pickup. Alluvian Constellas, obviously another kind of at least in the sideboard forever card. This is a just generic Wizard card, so every Wizard could play it, and every Wizard will have to play it in Wizard mirrors. It's just insane in those mirrors. Anyone who is around for the Icelander times, or anyone who currently plays Kano mirrors, you know how powerful Alluvian Constellas is. The card is kind of insane, and for only $25, I think it's a great pickup. Honestly, the card is so good and so future-proof, right? It's not like an Earth Wizard card. Every Wizard is going to play it presumably forever. I would even just go a step further and recommend picking up the Cold Foil, which is only at $52. $52 actually isn't that much when compared to other Uprising legendaries. Think Tiger Stripe Shuko or Flamescale Furnace when it was in its prime. One of the cheapest legendaries from Uprising and slated to be one of the best in the next set. I think it's a great pickup. If you're gonna get it, I recommend the Cold Foil. Next safe one is Metacarpus Node. This is going to be good almost whatever strategy you're playing. At the very worst, it's a Null Rune Gloves. At the best, it's a combo extender, so it kind of plays multiple roles. Every Wizard has played it traditionally forever, if nothing else, at least for the AB. Only $6, I think it's a great investment. Unlimited Rainbow Foil, sitting at $13, which is the one I would personally pick up. I wouldn't go for the Cold Foil. The Cold Foil is just crazy expensive unless you're like a hardcore collector. I think the Rainbow is what's going to be in most people's reach, and for only $13, I think it's a great pickup. Another safe pickup is Aether Arc. At worst, it's a blue block 3. At best, during your all blue hands, you could at least threaten a Ponder token, through various pump spells. Wizard, pretty notorious for pumping its arcane damage, making the next thing deal more damage. There's so many thematic Wizard cards that do that. And of the few cards that we have revealed, it does seem like that's going to be a trend moving forward. So yeah, I think Aether Arc, pretty safe pickup. I think most Wizards are going to want to play it. At worst, it's a blue block 3. At best, you're threatening an on-hit, right? $9 for the cheapest copy. Sap, a little bit less and a little bit more speculative. Sap, on surge removes energy counters, but if you remember how we talked about Alluvian Constellas was just an insane card, Alluvian Constellas does use energy counters, so at the very least, Sap is going to have some application there. Is it worth the side deck slot? Is it worth the main deck slot? I'm not sure. It is a blue block 3 though, so it could very well wind up seeing play. This is the alternate art. I believe it's Team Covenant, or maybe it's Rudy with Alpha Investments. One of those two. It was the buy a box promo. Cheapest copy on the market for the blue one specifically is like $35 shipped, and this does come in all colors. I think the blue is probably the safest bet, but it's totally possible that any of them do see play. Emeritus Scolding Blue, the extended art. Honestly, all of the Emeritus Scoldings, they're all so cheap. You could get the yellow and the red Emeritus Scoldings for like $1 each. I think it's a good pickup for the extended art Rainbow Foil Emeritus. And then for the blue one, it is a little bit more expensive. Cheapest copy on the market is like $2.79, $3, $4, somewhere in that range. Try and find yourself a playset. This card has been played traditionally in every wizard ever. I think all colors are a good pickup just because the yellow and the red are so cheap. But the blue is the obvious safe pickup. It's probably going to be in whatever wizards come out. Scour, pretty safe investment. Every wizard sides this at some point. There's always auras that want to mess with wizards. You know, Spectral Shields, Rune Chant tokens, right? Embodiment of Lightnings, Spellbound Ages, Haze Bending. There's so many cards that Scour just kind of messes up. Being able to destroy that stuff and still push damage. Very good for Scour. Cheapest copy on the market is $1.25. I think it's a pretty safe investment. I imagine most wizards will want to be siding Scour. And that is it for the safe pickups. I think if you're looking at wizard, if you want to play it, just generally, those are the safe ways to play it, or those are the safe pickups for the class. And it does seem like these new wizards that are coming out, we're getting an Earth Wizard and we're getting a Lightning Wizard. It does seem like their play styles are going to be kind of divided. We barely have any cards spoiled so far, but it seems like the Earth Wizard is going to be a little bit more defensive. It seems like it's going to rely around pumping your cards, playing auras, and shooting a big spell, playing an aura pass. Like that's gonna kind of seems like it wants to be the game plan of the new wizard. Again, this is all speculative, but if that's the game plan, if we want to be pumping, it does seem like we're going to be surging. We've seen the new weapon, and that one does surge, or pumps your next spell so you can utilize the surge mechanic. But if that's the case, then we want to be looking at all the cards that surge. It also had some synergies with auras, so we want to be looking at all the aura cards we can as well. Surgent Aethertide seems like a obvious go-to. Whatever damage Surgent Aethertide deals, it gives your next arcane spell that much extra damage, gives it plus X, where X is the damage dealt. So it seems like a natural inclusion when you're pumping things up, giving things additional damage, give your Surgent Aethertide additional damage to shoot, and then give your next thing additional damage. It seems like a kind of like a natural progression. Cheapest Marvel on the market is $70, and if you're not going to pick up the Marvel, I would at least recommend picking up the non-Marvel version of this card. You could get that for like $0.25, but the Marvel I think is gorgeous, and I think it's still relatively cheap if new wizard winds up playing this card. Blessing of Aether, again, if we're looking to pump and utilize the surge mechanic, Blessing of Aether seems like a no-brainer. Being able to pitch a blue Blessing of Aether, Waning Moon, and the next turn throw a giant spell at our opponent and get the full surge value out of it seems quite good, and the risk is also quite low. For the extended art of this, you're only looking at $1 for each copy, and then look, you could get $1.50 for each copy. He has 11 up here. Plenty of ways to get a playset for relatively cheap. Moving on, Mind Warp. Again, if we're pumping all of our spells, again, we're just leaning into that surge mechanic. Mind Warp has one of the best surges in the game, making your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck and draw that many cards -1. This kind of makes it so your opponent could just never not AB you, because they can't just say, all right, no blocks, because who knows what they're going to draw back, right? They're going to maybe draw back a hand worse than the hand they kept. So every deck, if Mind Warp becomes popular, is going to need some kind of plan for Mind Warp, whether that be Spell Void or a lot of blues and a lot of Arcane Barrier. They're going to need some kind of plan for Mind Warp. The on-hit is just that good. Cheapest copy on the market is $4.50. A lot of playsets up here for that $5 price range. So yeah, try and find it if you can. If you're looking at that slower style, that pump, aura, slower, more mid-range, earth, wizard, this is what I think it's going to look like. Leaning into that same game plan, we have Swell Tidings. Swell Tidings also has a very powerful on-hit. It being a big spell alone also just currently kind of makes it good enough in Kano, because it just gets over the top of those AB decks. So less on the surge so not only does it have like a really good surge, but it also just has like such a big number on it that your opponent just can't AB it. Contest the Minefield. Again, if you're playing a wizard that's going into this slower aura strategy, the only wizard aura we really have right now is Contest the Minefield. They recently printed this card in Bright Lights. They didn't print this card for no reason. Cheapest copy on the market is like $3 right now. And Bright Lights expansion slot cards just go absolutely crazy whenever they're good. Look at Intoxicating Shot, Phantom Tide Maw, Already Dead. There's so many examples of the Bright Lights expansion slots going crazy. So get yourself a playset. It's only like $10 for a playset right now. And if this new wizard leans into the auras, leans into this slower mid-range game plan, Contest the Minefield could be a good inclusion. So that is like the way I imagine the Earth wizard is going to want to play. On the other side of that coin, we have the Lightning wizard, and that one seems like it's going to be more combo focused, more go again focused. So Channel Thunder Step is like a natural inclusion in that, being able to give all of your action cards go again, right? Tome of Fendal, Tome of Aetherwind, or whatever it's called. There's so many like good wizard cards, good draw spells. If you give them go again, it just kind of seems insane. Cheapest Channel Thunder Steppe on the market is like $250 right now. I think it's a great pickup, especially if you're looking at that more combo-oriented wizard game plan. Something like akin to like a Kano seems like it's going to be a natural inclusion in the Lightning Wizard. Chain Lightning, cheapest copy on the market is $3, and this one, while it doesn't like directly cleanly combo with Channel Thunder Steppe, it's possible. Like the Lightning identity is almost synonymous with Go Again, right? So if you're able to give Chain Lightning Go Again, then the card actually kind of gets insane rather quickly, especially if a deck is built around Go Again, then that deck is going to want to play big hands. After your big tome pop-off turn, if you drew a bunch of cards, maybe on the back of Channel Thunder Steppe, then Chain Lightning makes a lot of sense to play with like a 6-card hand, right? Being able to give all your stuff Go Again, Channel Thunder Steppe gives Chain Lightning Go Again. Maybe there's other ways that this Lightning Wizard is going to have to give Wizard non-attack action cards Go Again. I imagine that's going to be like the theme, the flavor, the identity of this new wizard. So Chain Lightning, only $3 for the cheapest copy on the market. A lot of room for this one to go up. Look at something like Beast Within or Red in the Ledger. There's a lot of room to go up on a Crucible of War Majestic. Only $3 for the cheapest copy. I think it's a good pickup. We kind of touched on this a lot just now. Tome of Fendal, cheapest copy on the market, is like $4 or $5. And, I don't want to harp too much on it. We kind of already talked about all of the Go Again, giving Go Again to a card. Giving Go Again to Tome of Fendal is better than giving Go Again to any other card in the game. This is just insane when it has Go Again. Cheapest copy on the market, $5. I think it's a good pickup. It's also playable in like every class at some point, right? Dromai was playing this not that long ago. Prism just topped US Nationals playing this card. Briar played this card at one point. There's so many decks that want to play Tome of Fendal that even if it doesn't pan out as a wizard spec, it will be good at some point. Gaze the Ages seems like a very obvious inclusion for a very combo-based wizard. Being able to freely opt, return this to your hand, having it as a blue block 3 seems very good. Cheapest copy on the market is like $16.50 right now, which is a little bit expensive. I think it's a good pickup if you're super interested in the class, but I wouldn't look to this as like the very first thing you pick up. I think this will probably be quite replaceable. I would look at the other Stormstriders, Waning Moon, Constellas, even Tome, Chain Lightning, and Thunder's Channel Steppe before I picked up Gaze the Ages. With that being said, I still think it's a good card probably, and certainly it's going to be good if the wizard plays out the way I think it is, with a lot of Go Again and very combo based. Aether Wildfire also plays into that very well. Aether Wildfire, cheapest extended art Aether Wildfire on the market is only $35. I think that's insane, like actually an insane pickup. Whereas the other like non-foil Aether Wildfire is $7, so it's not even that much more expensive for the extended art. I think it's a great pickup. The only thing that worries me is that, like I said, the Lightning identity is Go Again, whereas the Aether Wildfire identity is instant. So again, this is a good one, but it's in kind of the same lane as Gaze to me, where it's not as important as the other cards. I think that the new Lightning Wizard will focus more on Go Again than it will Instance, and if that's the case, then Aether Wildfire is just a lot less good. I still think it's a very powerful card. The ceiling on this card is absolutely insane, probably better than any card in all of Flesh and Blood. For such a house of a card, for such a powerhouse of a card, I still do think it's a good pickup. Kindle, cheapest Kindle on the market is $6. And again, if you're leaning heavy into this combo game plan, then Kindle kind of seems like a no-brainer. Being able to filter itself, amp one, like we already know how Kindle is broken. I don't need to harp too much on it. Cheapest copy on the market is $5. Find the alternate art rewind, or any rewind for that matter. I think, unfortunately, as cool as this card is, I actually don't think that it's a good pickup. I don't think that anyone's going to be playing this card. I think this card is probably just bad, probably just not a good card. I would pick up everything else on the market before I pick this up. I've seen some people talking about it, so I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. We're getting the new Wizard cards tomorrow. We're going to know everything. The curtain is going to be pulled back on all of the Wizard stuff. This is kind of your last day, your last chance to get in on any of these cards for their current price point. Let me know in the comments down below, did I miss anything? Are you guys looking at anything else? And if you are going to buy anything on this market watch, please do so using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. That's all I got for you guys today. Later, gamers.